Hello, everyone. Today's question is a big one. It's with all of this uncertainty that's happening in our lives right now, how do we keep a positive mindset in the face of fear? I think that's something we're all struggling with. So I'm going to spend the next three recordings answering that question. And today is going to be part one. So, today I really want to focus on the distinction between thoughts and emotions. We have a thinking mind and a feeling body, and sometimes we don't create a distinction between those two things. So, I want to start with thoughts because thoughts are interesting in the sense that we can become masters of our own mind. A lot of times we feel like victims of our own minds, but the truth is that we do have the capability to be the masters of our own minds. And what I mean by that is the way that the human brain works is we have so many different thoughts coming into our brain all at once. Our thinking is not linear, meaning we don't have one thought and then the next and then the next. We have like 100 people talking in our mind at once. I think the number is around 70,000 thoughts a day. So there is a lot going on in our brain. And we don't often get the tools to understand that the thoughts that keep happening are the ones we continue giving energy to. So when we have all of these thoughts coming into our mind at once, the thoughts that we feed are the ones that are going to grow. So, yes, there is a lot of fear, there is a lot of anxiety, there's a lot going on in this moment in time. But I want to encourage you to think about, how do I become a master of my own mind? How do I feed the thoughts that are serving me right now? And the ones that aren't, how do I give less energy to? So, just something to think about. I mentioned a couple videos ago the importance of a gratitude practice. When we think about gratitude, even in the most difficult of moments, it helps train our brain for positivity. And I'm not saying to ignore what's going on or minimize what's going on, but I ask you to try and continue to find thoughts that are serving you and thinking about things that you're grateful for. Because as hard as this moment is, there are a lot of things to be grateful for as well. Now, I want to make a distinction between thoughts and emotion, because sometimes when I talk about becoming a master of your own mind, people will think about, well, oh, okay, that means that I should not feel the emotion that I'm having. And they're different. While they're very intertwined in so many ways, energy in motion is emotion. And I have not found a single person who does well by stuffing their emotion and not feeling it. And we are having a ton of emotion come up, all different across the spectrum, come up in us right now. And so, what I encourage you to do is to feel that emotion, to let it pass through you. I love the metaphor that emotion is like waves in the ocean. Some are big, some are small, but we don't try and block the waves of the ocean. We allow them to come and we allow them to go. And emotion to me is similar. If we allow ourselves to feel whatever's present, it will come and it will go. It'll come through us and then it'll disappear. But when we start to block it or stuff it, that's when we find that that emotion is snapping back at the most uncertain times. I realize as leaders, we don't always have the space in a moment to feel the emotion we're feeling. So I really want to encourage you to find space if you can, whenever you can. Maybe it's not in that moment where you're in a meeting or talking with somebody, but that maybe it's after, that you give yourself a little bit of time and space to reflect and feel whatever you need to feel. So I just wanted to create that as the first part of this series, really understanding thoughts, and that we're the masters of our mind, and the energy that, or the thoughts that we feed are the ones that are going to keep happening over and over again. So just be conscious of that. Utilize that gratitude practice as much as possible. And two, recognize that emotion is energy in motion. And when we allow ourselves to just be with it, to allow it to pass through, that's going to help us get to that next emotion that's coming, just like waves in the ocean. So even though sometimes it's hard to be with difficult emotions, right now there's a lot of them, and I just encourage you to create that space when you can to feel what you need to feel. Thank you so much.